Hello, my name is Paul and this is Missy, and together our channel is Posture Pilates. So today I'm going to guide you through the short book series on the reformer. I will offer you a beginner, an intermediate, followed by an advanced level. If you enjoy today's video, then please consider subscribing and hitting the like button. If you wish to be notified of future video releases, then tap the bell icon below. It's free of charge, it doesn't cost you anything, and it helps us to grow the channel and create more content such as this. Also, if you have any exercises that you would like me to demonstrate, then please leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching and enjoy. In the beginner level, we will cover round back, straight back with two variations, one with the hands behind the head, the other holding a pole overhead, twist, and climb a tree. Once more with two variations, the first using a Pilates circle, ideally for clients with tighter hamstrings, and the second without the circle. Sitting on the short box with two red springs or all the springs on, the carriage doesn't move, hook your feet securely under the foot strap. For beginner level, I'm choosing to place the heels onto the platform. However, this may not be possible on all reformer brands. Seated upright on the box with the pelvis and spine in neutral, each hand is holding onto the other wrist in front of the abdomen. Our first exercise is round back. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, roll the tailbone under, flexing the lumbar spine. The upper spine will flex in response. Simultaneously, float the arms up in line with the chest. Maintaining lumbar flexion, inhale and lift the arms overhead. Exhale, lower the arms and flex the torso forward over the legs, bringing the weight onto the sit bones. Inhale and segmentally lengthen the spine from tail to head, returning to neutral, simultaneously lowering the arms back down to the abdomen. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, lift the arms overhead. Exhale, lower the arms and flex over the legs. Inhale, roll up the spine, returning the hands to the abdomen. Initiate by rolling the tailbone under, increasing the lumbar flexion with the abdominals, avoiding simply leaning back. Maintain scapular stabilization as the arms lift overhead. Complete 4 to 5 repetitions before moving on to straight back. With new clients, we first perform this with the hands behind the ears and elbows in peripheral vision, creating a short lever length. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hinge the torso at the hip joint, maintaining neutral. Inhale, maintain the position. Exhale, return to a vertical seated position with the weight directly on top of the sit bones. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, stay. Exhale, return to vertical. Keep the eye line looking forward. Perform a slight chin lower as you hinge back. Avoid flexing the lumbar spine and over-recruiting the obliques as you return to vertical. We'll now perform this with an extended lever length. Straighten the arms, holding the pole overhead. I like to press outwards onto the pole to help stabilize the scapulars. Once again, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge back. Inhale, stay. Exhale, return to vertical. I encourage my clients to squeeze the glutes as they lengthen the spine up, helping them feel connected to their core. Aim to keep the pole in line with the head as you hinge back. Avoid the arms from drifting forward. Once again, perform 4 to 5 repetitions before we move on to twist. Lower the pole back onto the carriage. We start sitting upright on the box, with the arms straight, reaching out to the side, the palms are down and the hands are slightly in peripheral vision. Inhale, prepare. Exhale and rotate the spine to the right, keeping the pelvis grounded. For a further 2 exhalations, deepen the rotation. Inhale, lengthen and return to the center. Exhale, rotate to the left, deepen the rotation, performing 2 more exhales before inhaling and returning to the center. Allow the head and neck to naturally follow the rotation of the spine. To emphasize the mid and lower trapeze, flex the back elbow. Think of drawing the elbow back on the pulses. Inhale and extend the elbow to face the front. I will now demonstrate 2 versions of Climb a Tree. The first with a Pilates circle, which will help your clients with a more restrictive hamstring range. Take hold of the circle with an underhand grip either side of the top pad, and place your right midfoot or heel, not the toes, onto the underneath pad. Inhale, prepare. Keeping the pelvis square, exhale and extend the knee, lengthening the hamstring while keeping the torso as upright as possible. Inhale, flex the knee back in. Exhale, extend. Inhale, flex. Perform 3 repetitions. Inhale, flex the spine and elbows. Exhale, hinge back at the hip joint, lifting the leg to vertical. Inhale, extend the elbows, eye-line towards the hands. Exhale and flex the elbows, lifting the torso, drawing the head towards the circle, aiming to keep the leg vertical. Continue to exhale as you lower the leg and return to sitting. And finally, inhale as you flex the knee in. Exhale, extend. Inhale, flex forward. Exhale, hinge back at the hip joint. Inhale, extend the elbows. Exhale, flex the elbows, lifting the torso. Lower the leg, return to sitting. Inhale, flex the knee. Press upwards with your left foot and ankle onto the foot strap. Perform 3 repetitions before switching to the left leg. Perform the 3 knee extensions and flexions before you exhale, extend. Inhale, flex forward. Exhale, hinge back at the hip joint. Inhale, extend the elbows. Exhale, flex the elbows, lifting the torso. Lower the leg, return to sitting. Inhale, flex the knee. I have also had clients perform this with a strap when a circle has been unavailable. By using the circle, I find the client feels much more secure about their ability to return themselves to sitting position. Place the circle to one side, as we now perform the exercise with the hands holding onto the leg. Sitting upright on the box, take hold of the right leg, with the inside hand, left, under the knee, and the outside hand, right, reaching towards the ankle. Exhale, extend. Inhale, flex. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, extend. Inhale, place the left hand onto the ankle. Then exhale, flex the lumbar spine, rolling the sacrum onto the box as far as the abdominal wall stays flat, simultaneously walking the hands down the leg. Inhale, stay. Exhale, initiating from the abdominals and return to a sitting position, walking the hands up the leg to the ankle. Inhale, flex the knee, bringing the left hand under the knee and the right hand onto the ankle. Exhale, extend. Inhale, hold the ankle. Exhale, roll back, walking the hands down. Inhale, stay. Exhale, sit up, walking the hands up the ankle. Inhale, bend the knee, returning the hand position. Keep hold of the back of the thigh with both hands at the bottom of the lower. Switching to the left leg, the inside hand right is under the knee, whilst the outside hand left reaches towards the ankle. Exhale, extend. Inhale, flex. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, extend. Inhale, hold the ankle. Exhale, roll down, walking the hands. Inhale, stay. Exhale, sit up, climbing the leg. Inhale, bend the knee, returning the hand position. Maintain the pelvis as square as possible, avoiding any pelvic rotations. Perform 3 repetitions, and this brings us to the end of our beginner short box series. In the intermediate level, we will cover round back, straight back, twist with round back. Here I will offer 2 versions, one with the arms at shoulder height, the other with the arms overhead, lean, and climb a tree. We begin with round back, sitting upright on the box with the pelvis and spine in neutral. The feet are hooked under the foot strap, with each hand holding the other wrist in front of the lower abdomen. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, roll the tailbone under, flexing the lumbar spine. The upper spine will flex in response. Simultaneously, float the arms up in line with the chest. Maintaining lumbar flexion, inhale and lift the arms overhead. Leaving the arms overhead, exhale and flex the torso over the legs, bringing the weight on top of the sit bones. Inhale and segmentally lengthen the spine from tail to head, returning to neutral. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, flex forward over the legs. Inhale, roll up the spine, lowering the arms to the abdomen. I've chosen to abduct the legs and press the feet to the outside of the foot strap, giving me a firm base of support. However, this could be performed with the legs adducted, which I will cover in the advanced level. Moving on to straight back, take hold of the pole and straighten the arms overhead. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hinge the torso at the hip joint, maintaining neutral. Inhale, maintain the position. Exhale, return to a vertical seated position with the weight directly on top of the sit bones. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, stay. Exhale, return to vertical. Aim to keep the pole in line with the head as you hinge back. Avoid the arms from drifting forward. Perform 4 repetitions before we transition to twist with round back. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, draw the tailbone under, flexing the lumbar spine. The upper spine will flex in response. Simultaneously, lower the arms to shoulder level. Inhale, stay. Maintaining the pole at shoulder level, exhale and rotate the upper torso towards the right side. Inhale, return to the center. Exhale and rotate the upper torso towards the left side. Inhale, return to the center. Exhale and flex the torso forward over the legs, bringing the weight on top of the sit bones, reaching the arms forward and down. Inhale, stay. Exhale, keeping the arms at shoulder level, and segmentally lengthen the spine from tail to head, returning to neutral. Inhale, lift the arms overhead. Exhale, roll down, lowering the pole. Inhale, stay. Exhale, rotate the torso to the left. Inhale, return to the center. Exhale, rotate the torso to the right. Inhale, return to the center. Exhale, flex forward over the legs. Inhale, stay. Exhale, segmentally roll up the spine. Inhale, lift the arms. To increase the challenge, we now perform this with the arms maintained overhead as the torso rotates. Exhale, roll back, lowering the pole. Inhale, lift the arms back overhead as you maintain the lumbar flexion. Exhale, rotate the torso to the right. Inhale, return to the center. Exhale, rotate the torso to the left. Inhale, return to the center. Exhale, lower the arms to shoulder level. Flex the torso forward over the legs, reaching the arms forward and down. Inhale, stay. Exhale, roll up the spine. Inhale, lift the arms overhead. Keep the pelvis square to the front. Avoid any lifting or tilting as you rotate round. As you flex forward, you could reach the pole towards the feet. However, do not lose the lumbar flexion. Think of scooping and hollowing the abdominals. Avoid hinging at the hip and simply stretching the hamstrings. We now go to lean. For this, I'm going to change my position on the foot strap. Move back on the box and have the back of the ankle resting against the edge of the carriage. The ankles are dorsiflexed and the strap is resting just below the toe joints. Sitting upright on the box, the arms are straight, holding onto the pole overhead. Inhale, lift, maintaining neutral spine, and rotate the upper torso to the right side. Maintaining both sides of the torso long, exhale and lean diagonally back and to the side. The opposite hip will come slightly off the box. Maintaining spinal rotation, inhale and return the torso to vertical, so the weight is back on both sit bones. Exhale, rotate the upper torso back to the center. Inhale, rotate to the left. Exhale, lean diagonally back and to the side. Inhale, return to vertical. Exhale, rotate back to face the front. As you lean, the opposite hip will lift slightly. Think of this as a consequence of the action, as opposed to a deliberate decision. Perform 4 repetitions before replacing the pole back to the carriage. Bring yourself slightly forward on the box, so you have roughly 1 hand width between yourself and the edge of the box. For our final exercise of this intermediate level, we now perform climb a tree. Sitting upright on the box, take hold of the right leg, with the inside hand, left, under the knee, and the outside hand, right, reaching towards the ankle. Exhale, extend. Inhale, flex. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, extend. Inhale, place the left hand onto the ankle. Then exhale, flex the lumbar spine, rolling the sacrum onto the box as far as the abdominal wall stays flat, simultaneously walking the hands down the leg. Maintaining abdominal engagement, inhale and continue to roll back, taking the spine into full extension. Initiating from the head, exhale and flex the spine through imprint and roll up to a seated position, walking the hands up the leg to the ankle. Inhale, Flex the knee, bring the left hand under the knee and the right hand to the ankle. Please note my wrong hand position in the video. Exhale, extend the knee. Inhale, hand to ankle. Exhale, roll back, walking the hands down. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, roll up, walking the hands. Inhale, flex the knee. For any clients with long-term back issues, then resort back to the beginner level. This omits the back extension. Once you've completed 3 repetitions, then switch to the left leg. Place the right hand behind the thigh and the left hand behind the ankle. Please note my correct hand position on this side. Exhale, extend. Inhale, flex. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, extend. Inhale, hand to ankle. Exhale, roll back, walking the hands down. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, roll up, walking the hands. Inhale, flex the knee. Aim to keep the pelvis as square as possible as you pass into the extension. Watch for any tilting or lateral flexion of the spine. I'm choosing to place my hands to the side of the hips as we pass into the extension. However, you could hold the straps at the side of the box, which we will be doing at the advanced level. To complete the intermediate short box series, you would then perform a mermaid. For the interest of saving time, I have already demonstrated and broken this down in a previous video, which you can see by tapping the link now in the top right hand corner. In the advanced level, we will cover round back, straight back, twist with round back, lean with 2 extra variations, cast a spell and twist around the world, and finally climb a tree, also with 2 extra variations, leg to the side and leg circles. Once again, we're working with 2 red springs or all of the springs as the carriage doesn't move. For the advanced level, I'm choosing to place my feet into the foot strap with the back of the ankle resting against the edge of the carriage. The ankles are dorsiflexed and the strap is resting just below the toe joints. Making sure you have roughly 1 hand width between you and the back of the carriage, we begin as always with round back. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, roll the tailbone under, flexing the lumbar spine. The upper spine will flex in response. Simultaneously, float the arms up in line with the chest. Maintaining lumbar flexion, inhale and lift the arms overhead. Maintaining the arms overhead, inhale and continue to roll down, allowing the upper spine to extend over the back of the box. Inhale, return the arms to the abdomen, then exhale, initiating from the head, flex the spine segmentally, bringing the torso forward over the legs, with the weight on top of the sit bones. Inhale, segmentally lengthen the spine, returning to neutral. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, extend over the box. Inhale, bring the arms to the abdomen. Exhale, segmentally roll up, flexing the torso over the legs. Inhale, return to neutral. This could be performed with the arms maintained either at the abdomen or chest height. Use the abdominals to flex the spine as much as possible during the roll up, rather than levering up using the hip flexors. Perform 4 repetitions before retrieving the pole and moving on to straight back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hinge back. Inhale, stay. Exhale, return to vertical. This exercise remains the same through all 3 levels: beginner, intermediate and advanced. However, I do offer a more modified version at the beginner level. Transitioning to twist with round back, this remains the same as the intermediate level. Exhale, roll back to flexion, lowering the arms. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, rotate the torso to the right. Inhale, return to the center. Exhale, rotate the torso to the left. Inhale, return to the center. Exhale, lower the pole as you flex forward over the legs. Inhale, stay. Exhale, roll up. Inhale, raise the pole overhead. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, lift overhead. Exhale, rotate the torso to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, flex forward over the legs. Inhale, stay. Exhale, roll up. Moving on to lean, raise the pole overhead. The first exercise remains the same as the intermediate level. Inhale, rotate to the right. Exhale, lean diagonally back and to the side. Inhale, return to vertical. Exhale, rotate back to face the front. Lean to the left. Moving to cast a spell. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, lean. Stabilizing the torso, inhale and release the pole from the top hand, right, and reach it away. Exhale, return the pole to the hand. Inhale, twist. Exhale, lean. Inhale, reach the pole. Exhale, replace to the hand. Twist around the world. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, lean. Continue to exhale as you contract the abdominals and flex the spine, simultaneously rotating the torso to face the front. Inhale, rotate the torso to the opposite side and lengthen both sides of the waist as the spine comes out of flexion. Exhale, return the torso to vertical with weight on both sit bones, then return to face the front. Inhale, rotate to the left. Exhale, lean. Continue to exhale as you flex through the center. Inhale, rotate to the right. Exhale, straighten the spine and return to face the front. Use the abdominals to create the spinal flexion when passing through the center before leaning to the other side. Maintain scapular stabilization throughout. Avoid the shoulders from riding up. Place the pole back to the carriage as we go to our final exercise, climb a tree. Exhale, extend. Inhale, flex. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, extend. Inhale, hand to ankle. Exhale, roll back, walking the hands down. Inhale, extend the spine. Here you can choose to maintain holding onto the sides of the straps, or extending your arms back and letting them rest on the sides of the frame. Take hold of the side straps on the box, and as you exhale, flex the spine through imprint and roll up to a seated position, simultaneously walking the hands up the leg to the ankle. Inhale, flex the knee. Leg to the side. Exhale, extend the knee. Inhale, place the other hand onto the ankle. Then exhale, place the same hand on the inside of the top leg. The other hand is on the side of the box. Start flexing the lumbar spine, simultaneously abducting the top leg to the side. Maintaining abdominal engagement, inhale and continue rolling back, taking the spine into full extension. Exhale, flex the spine through imprint and roll up to a seated position, simultaneously adducting the top leg in front of the hip. Leg circles. Exhale, extend the knee. Inhale, both hands to ankle. Exhale, roll back, walking down the leg. Inhale, continue to roll back, taking the spine into full extension, placing the hands onto the side of the box or reaching them overhead to hold the frame. Exhale, circle the leg, crossing the midline first to draw a small circle. Inhale, pause. Exhale, circle. Exhale, circle. Perform 3 further circles away from the midline. Exhale, roll up the spine, walking the hands. Inhale, flex the knee. Let's perform all 3 variations of climb a tree on the left leg. A spotter may be required throughout the exercise in case support is needed during the roll down or roll up. Leg to the side. The option of using a Pilates circle or band may be required here to hold the leg out to the side. Please refer back to the beginner level of this video. And finally, leg circles. Aim to keep the pelvis as still and grounded as possible during the circles in and out. To complete the advanced short box series, you would then perform a mermaid. In the interest of saving time, I have already demonstrated and broken this down in a previous video. Please refer back to the link at the end of the intermediate level of this video. If you enjoyed today's video, then please consider liking, sharing, and following.